Kaylee Ray, one of the most well-traveled women in British wrestling. She's been competing for ICW, for PCW, Southside, because she was part of TNA's second British boot camp as well. A more than worthy challenger for Bea Priestley, our new women's champion.
Hails from Wellington, New Zealand. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your current reigning and defending What Culture Pro Wrestling Women's Champion, Bea Priestley.
Now, Matt, I'm sure Priestley and the rest of these Swords of Essex won't want me putting an asterisk next to that title win, but it does have to be said, Bea Priestley only won that women's championship after the still unexplained interference from the monstrous Viper.
Well, listen, it doesn't matter how you got there, it matters that you're there. And Bea Priestley is certainly there, if there, of course, is the best female wrestler in What Culture Pro Wrestling. She is your champion, Mr. Hawk Bradshaw.
Well, Nixon Newell has been put on the shelf as a result of that attack from Viper, the conclusion of that women's championship match, and so perhaps with Newell out of the picture, you may be right. Bea Priestley is the dominant force in the WCPW women's division.
Yes, and my favorite referee here in What Culture Pro Wrestling holds up the championship. Now, I had a chance to talk to Kaylee Ray earlier in the day. We were talking about how women's wrestling is really, really on the up. We talked about names like Deonna Purrazzo, amongst others, and Kaylee really wants to carry the flag into 2017 for female wrestling. To do that, she's going to have to beat Bea Priestley here tonight. Oh, God!
Big slap across the chest from Kaylee Ray. Goes for a quick cover. Certainly knocked the wind out of the reigning women's champion.
A lot of great stuff here we've seen already, and also still to come tonight. El Ligero and Gabriel Kidd versus Joe Coffey and Travis Banks.
Oh, great, they're coming out again.
Yeah, but before we get there, let's stay right here.
Kaylee Ray, after that early strike here, is...
Look at the manipulation of the fingers. That is illegal in amateur wrestling, and Kaylee having a little bit of fun here. Turns it over into a maestral.
Goes for a cover. It's a 2 count. What would it do to the already, I would suggest, fragile psyche of Bea Priestley if she were to lose the women's championship immediately after winning it?
Oh, look at that. We saw Cody Rhodes win the match earlier tonight with that same maneuver. But Bea has not endured as much punishment as Cody's opponent, Liam Slater, did. And the match continues.
Even before she was women's champion, Priestley stole that belt from Nixon Newell while it was not hers to hold. And one of the big questions you've got to be asking here, Matt, the elephant in the room. Well, Viper was involved heavily in that Nixon Newell situation. Where is she? I'm surprised she didn't come out here.
Well, listen, Bea is out here on her own, and that's what matters here, and she's having a tough time with old KLR, Kaylee Ray. Nice agility there by the young lady, uses the ropes for momentum, and nicely done.
Kaylee Ray has been on top of Priestley from the beginning here. Clothesline. This seems like Kaylee Ray is a step ahead of Priestley.
I was just going to say, great point there. Kaylee certainly seems to have a speed advantage.
Goes for the cover.
A little lax there. That right shoulder had no weight on it whatsoever. Come on, Kaylee, stay on your opponent now. Don't forget that you're in there with Bea Priestley.
Kaylee Ray needs to believe that she can win this women's title here, because she certainly can, but she's going to have to, as you say, go for a cover that's a little bit more emphatic than that.
Smart by Bea. That's championship presence right there. First and foremost, she knows the title can't change hands on a count out, and it looks like Bea is trying to... Oh, God! Oh. Kaylee's face just underneath her nose slammed right against the steel on the turnbuckle, and now...
Oh, my God! A German suplex right in front of us on the ring apron.
And at some point, you start to think about the livelihood of these wrestlers, independent of gender. It's about anatomy. And first, the face into the steel, and then the suplex onto the ring apron. And we've talked about this, I don't know if you and I have, but that's the hardest part of the ring. It's where all the metal that makes up the ring, the steel perimeter, that's where it all meets and is fused and welded. And my God, this young lady, Kaylee Ray, is pulling herself up. The referee is up to 6.
Yeah, she may not make it in time, after that impact.
Yeah, well, she has something to say about that. Kaylee Ray back in.
Commentator's curse right there. As soon as you say something, the opposite happens. But Kaylee Ray showing great determination to get back in after that just absolutely vicious German suplex.
Yeah, and I'm right here looking at Kaylee. She is gasping for air, and B is most likely going to focus on the head and neck, ? And there's the answer.
Priestley has finally been able to turn the tables in this one after that German suplex on the apron.
And say what you want about B, but the mentality of the Swords of Essex are to, hang on.
Go for the cover here to retain that women's title.
The mentality is to have all the championships. There's ego there, but there's also pride. You may not like B. Priestley's attitude, but you have to respect what this young lady can do inside the ring as she does that. Here's a towel for you.
Well, Priestley, of course, the girlfriend of the equally classy Will Ospreay.
Nice way to get into that. Beautifully done. I might steal that.
Priestley could get the submission here because she has got those arms of Kaylee Ray wrenched backwards. Trying for the tap out.
Nice.
Go for the cover.
And anyone that's wrestled or done jiu-jitsu or any type of martial art will tell you that it's about weight and momentum. Shoulders not down there. There you go. Good job by our referee. And that right there was a perfect display of using weight and momentum in close quarters fighting.
Priestley has done the damage there with that submission hold.
Yeah, Kaylee hasn't been the same since her face bounced off that steel that is right behind her lower lumbar, for lack of a better term there. And that's twice I've said lower lumbar region.
Hard to say.
Good name for a band, someone told me.
Ray into the corner a second time now. Priestley going to send her again.
And you saw it right there. It was small, but Kaylee was reaching for B, and B intercepted the hand and used it to whip her opponent across the ring. But it looks like Kaylee may have a little bit of reprieve here. The double heart necklace dangles as Kaylee Ray tries to get her breath. B. Priestley up, checking the wounds of war.
And the pressure really is on Kaylee Ray, and not only because she's the challenger, but because, as you mentioned earlier, Matt, this is such a competitive women's division right now that if she were to lose this title shot, she's going to go right to the back of the line. It could be months before she has another opportunity.
That's a great point.
Priestley into the corner, this time nobody home.
And you see those hard knife-edge chops, and I'm sure that Kaylee picked that up in her time in Japan.
Yeah, spent a lot of time in Japan just recently. She goes for the cover here to become the women's champion. Also, as I mentioned earlier, she's already been in some of the top British promotions around the country, although this is her debut in WCPW. Of course, was on national television on TNA's British Boot Camp as well. So Kaylee Ray is more than capable. And
nice.
This could do it. This could do it. There's an example of just how capable she is.
Wow, if you can get a shot, it's the forearm that's providing the choke on one side, and then the head scissors, the leg lace, that's really making it difficult for B to breathe. And B doesn't have much color in her face to begin with, but it looks like all the blood may be cut off to the brain.
She's trying to get to the bottom rope, and she finally, just with that right leg, able to get her toes onto it, and seconds later she tapped.
And right away she went to her shoulder, which tells me that submission hold is a little bit misleading here for this analyst here. I'd like to see that hold again and try to break it down, but right now.
Going for the backside.
Spin out.
Maybe go for that gory bomb, in fact. Oh! Side suplex.
Listen, say what you want about B. She knows where she is in the ring. Where she put her opponent down was not by accident. That's a very hard part of the ring, and now B goes to work.
Hard part of the kneecap as well into the temple of Kaylee Ray as Priestley tries to retain and came within just a split second of doing so.
And I'll tell you, first of all, as you see the imprints of Kaylee's hand on B's chest, Kaylee kicked out very slowly there. That seems to tell me that the gas tank is approaching E. The light is going on here. But perhaps This is what Kaylee needs. Rolls her opponent over.
Well, she may be operating on fumes, but she was within just a half second there of becoming the new women's champion. Kaylee Ray is finding a second, not even a second, a third win.
That pretty girl is now finding an ugly place. Talking about Kaylee Ray.
She's on the turnbuckle here. It's that cheeky Nando's.
Oh,
Got that from her boyfriend Will Ospreay, did Priestley. Goes for the cover. Once again, not quite enough.
there you see. B wearing the proverbial wounds of war. A little bit of blood. Never hurt anybody?
I try to avoid it if I can.
Of course you do. You're 7 feet tall. Who's gonna reach you in the nose?
Priestley is stamping on the head, if not the nose, of Kaylee Ray right now.
And we talked about it with Cody Rhodes. We'll talk about it here as well. Hang on a second.
Go for another cover, and she's gonna get two again.
The manipulation of the joints, that tells me a good wrestler. And you'll notice where B grabs her opponent. By the neck, by the wrist, by the elbow. That's smart professional wrestling.
Everything she's doing here is just consistently wearing down the challenger. And Kaylee Ray, again with her arms wrenched backwards.
But there's the weight differential there, rolling through, using momentum. Kaylee back up on her feet. Looks like she's going for
the gory bomb. The gory bomb! She's put away some of the best in British wrestling with that.
Of course, we shout out the great Guerrero family. Gory, Chavo Sr., rest in peace. Chavo, Eddie, Mondo, Hector.
I'm surprised Kaylee Ray didn't go for the pin, but instead she goes for the Swanton bomb.
Go for the cover.
Oh, now hang on a second. Look, here's Viper. Viper is here. But we wondered why she didn't come out with Priestley.
That's B's enforcer right there, and the referee is preoccupied. Oh, jeez. This way, really?
Go for the roll-up. Priestley.
No!
Only two.
Good. I'm tired of seeing wrestling matches end that way. Good for Kaylee.
Viper was thinking there that her distraction was going to be enough for Priestley to put this one away.
Ooh!
Instead, though, it's a kick to the face. Oh, my!
Yeah!
Kaylee Ray takes out Viper.
Good, that's smart strategy. And now, with Viper disposed, can Kaylee Ray make history here? Perched high above. Oh, the distance. She did not calculate the distance. Viper was able to pull B out of the way.
And again, Priestley goes for the cover. She's got it all wrapped up. And Priestley, with the help of Viper, retains.
And still, What Culture Pro Wrestling Women's Champion, B. Priestley.
Kaylee had her opponent set up to where I can only assume Kaylee wanted the back of her head and shoulders to nail her opponent. But that miscalculation was just enough for Viper to come in, pull B out of the way. The impact of missing the move disoriented Kaylee long enough for B. Priestley to take advantage and retain the WCPW Women's title.
Well, we still don't know what the relationship is between Priestley and Viper.
This Monday, when WCPW returns to London, Bad Bones versus the #1 contender for the WCPW Championship, Rampage. Kaylee Ray gets her chance at revenge as she takes on Viper. The ambassador of British wrestling, Doug Williams versus the Kiwi buzzsaw, Travis Banks. The American Nightmare Cody Rhodes will defend his WCPW Internet Championship against a mystery opponent. WCPW proudly presents Chain Reaction. See it in person March 13th. Tickets available at wc.pw/London. Watch Chain Reaction exclusively on What Culture Extra from March the 17th.